it's Kaka. I'm 8 years old. My hobbies are singing, dancing, modeling, baking, acting, and shopping. My CCA is soccer. I come from a Hague Girls' School. Ambassador, you have so many titles in front of your name. Professor, Ambassador, Doctor. Are there more?
No, and I don't use them all at the same time.
Okay.
You know, I tell people, if you call me Professor, don't call me Ambassador Professor. And I'm never addressed as Ambassador Professor Dr. Chan Heng Chee. Oh, that's too much. So I'm either Professor Chan or Ambassador Chan.
Okay. As an ambassador, do you have to live overseas?
Yes, generally. I lived in New York, and then I was ambassador to the United Nations. We were called then the permanent representative to the United Nations. Then I was ambassador to the United States, and I lived in Washington. I'm home now. I am still called an ambassador. I'm an ambassador at large, which means I am an ambassador without a portfolio, without anything specific. Sometimes I laugh and say, I'm the ambassador on the loose, ambassador at large. But that's what I do.
Has anyone you've met overseas said anything really bad about Singapore to you?
No, not really. In fact, people overseas, most of them are very admiring of Singapore. They say to me, I've heard Singapore is green, I've heard Singapore is clean. I hear in Singapore, your officials are not corrupt. I hear you have very high standards in school, that your students are very good in math and in science. So they have good things to say about Singapore. But there are one or two people who say, oh, you can't chew gum, is it? So it's really a very small handful.
I've heard that we once had something called the Kampong Spirit. What's that?
A kampong is like a village. It's a Malay word for what you would call a village. And a village is a smaller place. Everyone knows everyone else, and they help each other. And you are like one family in that village. I think that was a long time ago. We've all moved into cities now, and we miss the kampong spirit. That spirit of being this community, and it's like a family.
Now that times have changed, what kind of spirit do we need to make Singapore a better place to live in?
I think we need to have a spirit of caring for each other, to look out for each other, you know, to help each other. And that will make us a family. And when there are times of difficulties, you can help each other. For instance, wouldn't it be nice if when I go on a holiday, I can tell my neighbor, hello, Mr. Tan or Mr. Wong or Rahim, would you keep an eye on my house? Because I'm taking my family to Bali for a holiday. I'll come back in a few days' time. And your neighbor says, sure, you know, happy to do it. Or I have a cat, or I have a dog. Can you help look after my cat or dog when I'm away? Now, isn't that nice if you could turn to each other and help each other? So when your neighbor goes, you do the same. So it's really developing that spirit of helping each other. And that you start off with your block, you start off with your neighborhood, and then you think of helping the country.
Do you think the tough curriculum in school is also making us so competitive that we forget things like kindness and compassion?
Oh, we shouldn't blame this, you know, the school load, the workload. We always have time to be kind and compassionate. You know, kindness doesn't take you 2 seconds. When you're in the bus and you see an old woman coming up, she's 80 years old, 70 years old. What does it take you to get up and offer your seat to the older person? So, you know, it doesn't take you a lot of time. You may have homework, but you're in the bus. You can offer the seat, and you can always open the door. You can always help a person. If someone wants to know how do I cross a road, what's the direction to a certain place, you can stop on the road and give the direction. So I don't think kindness takes time at all. It's just certain attitude that you want to be helpful and you want to be thoughtful and you want to be considerate. Compassion is having the ability to feel for the other, a sense of compassion. There's a big word called empathy, but you may know it, you know. It's a feeling for the person and wanting to do something to help. And it really doesn't take that much time. One of the things I would like to remind you, Kaka, is that when you are really working very hard and you are studying for your exams or preparing for the class, and you feel stressed and you're not studying as well or absorbing as well because you are tired, stop for a moment. Go and do an act of kindness. Go and do something else. You know, you may be helping someone else. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, come back to the desk. You'll find your mind is fresher. That helps you study better. So it is not because you have so much homework to do, you have no time to be kind. Because you have so much homework to do, maybe it's time to be kind, take some time out, and I think you'll find that you are refreshed and re-energized.
What is one very important piece of advice you would want to share with me and my friends?
Oh, what to advise someone so young and full of life and so pretty as you? I think you should have courage to do what you want and to do what you want and do it to the best of your ability. I've always said to myself when I was young, you know, take the exam, go and do this, do your best. When you know you've done your best, even if you didn't come up in the top 3 positions in class or the top 5 positions or 10 positions, but you've done your best, you know you've done your best, and that's good. But along the way, whilst you're trying to do your best, I think you should also do something that is thoughtful or helpful for other people, because it is only when you think beyond yourself that you really will be happy. If it's just about yourself and you must, top the class and so on, do well in your dance class, it's me, me, me. So that's not a good message to yourself. It is only when you try to do well, do the best of your ability, but you also think about people outside of yourself, help someone else, that I think you feel very satisfied and fulfilled. And that really will make you very happy.